joining. I'll let a few more people join and then we will get started. But for those that are already here, thank you for joining this webinar, this spring release webinar. We're fresh off Learning Technologies, which was one of our most successful events ever. So many amazing conversations with potential customers. We had 20 plus customers on the stand sharing how they're leveraging the Thrive product, which was amazing to see. And just the energy outside of the Thrive stand as well was really high. It's great to see a lot of other vendors in this space really stepping up and starting to push next generation technologies. I think it's a really exciting time within the learning technology space, and we're definitely at the forefront of that. We're pushing harder than ever, releasing some really, really valuable solutions for our customers. And today I just want to spend the next 15 minutes or so just guiding you through some of those releases. So we've got a few slides and I'm going to get straight into the product and show you really what we've been working on. Over the last 6 months, we've really focused quite hard on AI, unsurprisingly, but moving beyond the traditional uses of AI and LLM wrappers that you see in a lot of LMSs and LXP to truly really like changing the way in which employees are working end to end. Off the back of our acquisition last year with Guida, we've now fully integrated our mentoring and coaching capability in the platform. And also we've launched our new hub, which is our digital front door, connecting all of the applications that you use across your organization into one single interface, connected to AI to really simplify the employee experience and enable people to find information and answers quicker than ever before. So some really exciting stuff. Thank you for joining today. Please put any questions into the chat and we'll answer as many as we can. And hopefully over the next 15 or 20 minutes or so, you get a lot of insight into what we're doing at Thrive and how you might be able to potentially leverage some of the solutions. So I'm just going to share my screen. I'm going to dive straight in and we will get cracking. So let me just share this and we'll get started. So as a part of our spring release, there was a series of initiatives. All of this functionality that I'm about to talk about is production ready. It's available for our customers to use today. This isn't roadmap stuff or what we're thinking about. This is stuff that is genuinely available to our customers to use. And I think I'm just going to begin here. This by far over the last 6 years is our most intelligent release today. We know that over the last kind of 6 to 12 months, AI has enabled platforms like Thrive to move faster than ever before. In the rise of AI, our engineering and development teams are really allowed to kind of push the boundaries when it comes to AI and ship features faster than ever. And really for us, what that means is we're releasing features weekly to customers right now. Your traditional kind of large SaaS vendors typically are doing kind of 4 releases a year. Maybe some a little bit more, but typically it's a few releases a year. But instead we're shipping features each week, which we believe is really important in this era where there's such transformations going on. So the spring release really focuses on a few areas. One is a series of new agents, which are doing everything to support the learner and the admin. So it's not just about the learner, we're also building tools to help the administrator. The mentoring capability as mentioned, which is amazing. Live chat, which I'm really excited about. A more intelligent hub connecting all of those apps, as well as our MCP server, which allows us to connect to various different platforms. So we're really building for what's coming. We're building for the future. Of course, our customers are trusting us to be their central LMS, which is massively important for compliance, events, reporting, etc. But when we start to think about what the future of work looks like, these are some of the big bets that we're making to make it easier than ever to use Thrive and to make sure that people are using this daily and getting a lot of value from it. So the new team, as we're positioning it, this is what we launched at Learning Technologies last week, is 5 core agents. So creation, which is, how do we help you build content faster than ever before? The tools enable you to build interactive learning experiences. It allows you to translate them into 68 different languages. It allows us through prompts to build videos and assessments and various other styles of content. And look, we know that L&D teams need a variety of L&D creation tools in their toolbox. Thrive will not be the only one, like many amazing tools in the market to use. And we just believe this is just another tool for you to leverage. Secondly is admin, which we'll get onto. Admin is, really there to make lives easier of your L&D team. So how do we remove multiple pieces of content? How do we merge tags? How do we auto tag? How do we help that from a skills perspective in terms of mapping content in the platform to the right skills? And how do we just really build some automation here? So as we know, we have customers with hundreds of thousands of employees. How do we make that easier for them to do that at scale? So we've built lots of admin automation. Next is Analyze, which we'll get into. Now you can talk to your data, which I'm really, really pleased with. Of course, there's some really sophisticated data analytics in Thrive, but now through prompts, you can ask questions. And this is going to save significant time. We know that HR and L&D teams don't always have dedicated data analyst resource within their teams, and they might not have the budgets for that. So through the use of Thrive now, you don't need that anymore. A prompt can give you sophisticated graphs, reports, just for a series of prompts. It takes a few minutes to do so. Assist is getting the answers for the information as well. So now we can read through courses, such as SCORM modules. We can read through videos, links, files, etc., and really start to unlock that legacy content which exists in things like SCORM packages. And we'll show you that shortly. And then lastly, coaching as well. We do believe that coaching shouldn't all be AI driven. Of course, it's nice to talk to AI and do role play and make it interactive. There's definitely a place for that. But there's also the human side of things as well, where we want humans to be matched to allow mentoring and coaching to take place in a more human way. So we're doing both. So let's get into it. So number one is the MCP. So the MCP server is live. I could just quickly stop sharing and just move to Claude, for example. So if I just stop sharing here and just go to Claude, we can now sit inside things like Copilot, Claude, and fully talk to that. So MCP is all the hype at the minute. A lot of vendors are doing it. Here you can see that I'm asking about, can you add skills to profiles? What learning is overdue? Can you build me a pathway? We can now sit inside the Copilots, the Claudes, etc., that you're using across your organization. This can be done from an administrative perspective, like you're in your Copilot, can you build me X? And there's definitely a place for that. But it's also going to be for the learners as well. So MCP is all the hype, it's all the rage. Everyone was talking about learning tech, unsurprisingly, because over the next 1 to 2 years, many organizations are investing heavily in their own assistants, in the co-pilots, building their own chatbots, etc. So we need to be where those colleagues are. And that's really important for us as well. So we've already got customers using that, where we can surface the knowledge directly in the AI assistants that you're using. Or of course, you don't need to use that at all, and you can just leverage the AI assistants that we have through Kiki. So really exciting time. If you're a customer on this call today, I'd encourage you to speak to your account director and just test out the MCP server side of things, because I believe there's a huge amount of value in that for our customers. So just going back to the slides and continuing this, next up, if I let my slides catch up, is mentoring. As mentioned, we made an acquisition in Guida last summer. We were really excited about this. Guida had some amazing customers that were using the solution. Their matching algorithm in terms of how they enable mentoring to take place was really powerful. Sorry, Bex, was there some background noise there? Or was there questions? All good. Yeah, their matching algorithm there at Guida was really powerful, and it enabled those mentoring conversations to take place. And that's now fully integrated into the Thrive product. So if I just leave this slide deck here, I'm now in the Thrive products. This is available for our customers to use. Relationships can be formed, sessions can be requested. You can join those sessions directly in the platform itself. They integrate with calendars, etc. So I could join this session, it would take me to it, as you would expect. Now, the cool thing about this is you can be matched to mentors in lots of different ways. One of the primary ways we do that is based on skills. So the skills that you have can form you a mentoring relationship. And we're often doing that within spaces. So we believe the best way to do that is through a social way. So we have the spaces functionality in the product. This was built with a series of customers to build communities in the platform. And you can build these around common interests or goals and find those matches that are right for you based on what you're looking to achieve in the organization. Once it finds your matches based on skills, you can have those sessions take place, you can capture the notes, and you can really start to form those relationships and have those conversations. But one of the things that our customers were also sharing is that they wanted content to really level up the mentoring and coaching experience. I myself, I've never had any kind of formal training over the years of how to be a great coach or how to be a great mentor. So Al, who leads our content team, and our amazing designers have built a series of content packs to go alongside the mentoring capability. And for me, that's really important, right? Because ahead of a session, it can be, here's some great content to prepare you for that. Or as a mentor, you can assign content to individuals as well. So I think by bringing all this together, you've got your formal learning, your informal learning, coaching and mentoring, it all ties itself together really, really nicely. So definitely, if you're a Thrive customer, check this out. It's available today to use, and there's definitely a lot of value within there as well. So mentoring is now live. If I go back to the slides and just continue, next up is really the hub, right? And it's bringing everything together. So for us, it's about how do we bring everything into one place. If, for those of you on the call, think about your working day. This morning, you might have opened up your laptop, you've got a coffee next to you, you've logged in for the first time. You probably have emails over here. You might have Teams or Slack, your calendar, your CRM, your project management tools, and many, many, many other applications that you use. For us, that's very confusing. It makes it hard to find the information you're looking for. You're jumping around tabs. And really what we wanted to do is bring everything together in a clean interface. So the hub is now live for customers to leverage. And if I just jump back to the platform and show you some of this, we can bring it to life. So this is my hub here at Thrive. This is how I use it in the morning. And what you can see is I've got my learning all live. I've got my to-do list. And I can easily jump to the core applications that I might want to use. So I can book my holidays through here. I can jump into HubSpot, which is our CRM. I can go to our ticketing desk, HR system, etc., etc. If I wanted to as well, I can add other widgets. So I might be able to add Teams or Gmail or Slack on my calendar. So I've got everything in one place. Because I guess if you think about how your current employee experience platforms are working today, you're going to have a lot of applications and people are going to be sitting in different places. But wouldn't it be a nice world where employees can design a digital workspace that's personalized for them? If we think about iPhones, many of us on this call will have iPhones, but we'll have different backgrounds, right? I've got email, WhatsApp, and those types of things. You on the call might have something totally different. So here I can drag and drop, I can move widgets where I see fit, add things which are custom to me. And we really believe that's an important way of the future of work, right? A digital workspace connecting you to all the core applications you use every single day to get information faster and knowledge faster than ever before. But that's not all. What we also have then is Kiki, our AI assistant, which connects to these core applications. So what that means is if there is a policy sitting in G Drive or SharePoint or Dropbox or Box, I can do a prompt through Kiki and retrieve that document or that policy or that SOP in the Thrive platform without going to these other applications. So we can click on configure here and click on AI features. If I quickly show you that, we can select the model, and then you've got assistant settings in terms of the tone of voice, what you call the AI assistant, the response behavior, where it's pulling knowledge from. Of course, it's pulling knowledge from the Thrive platform, but we also allow you to bring in trusted web sources that you trust and endorse and validate. So here we've added a few websites here. And then just on that point I was mentioning around SharePoint, you can connect to your G Drive and other applications to surface all of that amazing knowledge that sits in these platforms directly in the AI assistant. So for me, that's really exciting. It's kind of a step forward. I think there's too many applications. It's very messy to find what you're looking for. So if Kiki can retrieve that information, if you can say, hey, book me a holiday, it goes to your HR system, finds that, schedules it for you, there's going to be some really interesting angles there as well. So that's the hub, and we're really excited about that release and what's coming next. If I just go back to the slides very quickly, skills has been big for us over the last year, and we're really starting to add more capability when it comes to skills as well. Skills for us is connected to informal and formal learning recommendations, so that's quite key. We've got a really big release happening now, so we're adding more skill validation. We're allowing you to bring in skills from other platforms, so you might have skill or talent management platforms in your HR system or standalone skill tools, so you can surface those skills directly in Thrive. We've now got more flexibility when it comes to badging and rewards as well. So we've got some really exciting releases so that you can actually gain physical or digital rewards based on learnings and achievements in the platform. So skills for us has been a really big focus, and something that you're going to see more on the platform over the next kind of few months or so. If we keep it coming, chat is one of the nice releases. So because we have mentoring and the ability to be matched to mentors and have those coaching conversations, it makes total sense that we build live chat into the platform. And this really enables that one-to-one messaging between mentors, managers, and peers. So you don't have to switch to other tools. Of course, we understand that people are going to keep using Teams. They're going to keep using Slack. It's not a replacement of that. Really what it's saying is if the mentoring conversation is taking place in the platform in terms of where you're matched and the content you look at before and after, why not have the conversation inside there? So instant chat happening in the platform, which we believe makes total sense and fully connected to the experience. And then you've got first line support, which is now fully rolled out and available for all customers to use within the platform. What this ultimately means is whether you're a learner, whether you're an admin, I can use this little icon at the top right hand side and ask questions directly to an assistant, which is trained on our corporate knowledge, which works really well. We've seen a huge increase in the adoption of this. It's available for all of our customers to leverage, because we know your learners and managers of the platform need to get answers and information quickly. So just like our AI assistant, we've embedded a support agent to enable you to get to that as well. Just going to pause there for a question that's come up. So how Kiki would work knowing we have a different AI agent for the HRM related topics. Just going to make sure I understand that correctly. So Kiki can connect to various different agents. So using the MCP server, you probably already have AI agents in place. So we just need to talk to them. And really it's about where does Kiki need to sit, right? Your employees might already be using a different AI agent. And if they are, and there's adoption of that agent, we want to start ingesting our content and our knowledge into that agent. I think it's about not disrupting the workflow. If you've already got a successful adoption of this, let's not rock the boat too much, right? And let's be where your employees already are. So whether that's integrating Kiki with Teams, Copilot, Claude, or something else, that's what we will do. So if you're a current customer, definitely just reach out to the team and they can explore that and how that actually works as well. As there's some really interesting stuff there. But thank you for the question. I guess some other areas I just want to quickly touch on. We have Spaces live in the platform now, which has been an amazing release for us. Spaces allow us to post content, to build communities. There's social feeds where people can post, like, and share. We recently ran a boot camp, which is an internal enablement program here at Thrive, before learning tech to get the team ready. And you can see people are posting, liking, and sharing, which is really cool to see. And customers have been using them for a variety of things. You could use them for onboarding initiatives, management programs, communications. I've seen work really well in some of our retail and hospitality customers as well. So if you're a customer, you can create spaces really easily. They can be public or private, so you can lock them down. And they can have lots of different formats, but we've also seen a lot of customers switch off other comms platforms or other collaboration tools in replacement of spaces now by bringing them together in the Thrive platform. So that's pretty huge for us. If we keep it moving, the content creator is really starting to help customers, as mentioned. You can create with AI, which is for a series of prompts, build interactive experiences and translate them and build really interesting topics. You can upload content and transform those heavy documents and files into interactive content. Or alternatively, you can just go freestyle and build it yourself. From audio and podcasts to building assessments, either yourself or using AI you can do. We've integrated different AI generation tools for video, such as Nano Banana and previously Sora as well, to support that as well. So there's lots of different content creation tools to complement the other tools that you're already using to build those experiences for colleagues in the platform. A big part for us as well has been data analytics. So our analytics is really strong now across the board, from compliance, looking at skills, looking at events. And some of the newer areas as well has been looking at search data in terms of search distribution, what your people are looking for, the dead searches of content that might not be discovered as well. So this is really helping our customers determine a content strategy aligned to the search habits and behaviors of their teams. Alongside that, we've now got the capability to look at how colleagues are engaging with the AI assistant. So again, what are they asking? How long are they spending on the AI? What's the peak day? What are they asking in different departments? And I think this, again, is going to be really, really important right now. Today in your workforce, they will be using Copilot, they will be using Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. But do you have the data around what your employees are truly looking for? What's their experience like? What's the response time? And for us, we're giving our customers this deep analytics so they have that insight to make more informed decisions. The cool thing about this is, let's say here, the average time it takes for your assistant to respond is 2.4 seconds, which is amazing. But we can add alerts to that. So we can say, if this dips below 2.4 seconds, let an admin know, because it might be something we need to tweak or change. So this just really helps you be more informed about what's happening, have more data than ever before, and allow you to actually segment that for specific audience, departments, countries, and regions, because there's going to be different habits across different audiences that you need to take into account here as well. So the data that we're providing around the AI tools is significant. Alongside that, we've also got AI Analyze, which is what I mentioned at the start of the call. This allows you now to talk to the data. So I could say, what are the trends you're seeing in learning? And this would now look at all the data across the whole platform. If you think about your current LMS or your current LXP today, at some point in the month, somebody will have to do reporting, whether it's for compliance or just engagement and what's happening. This will take a significant amount of time, definitely hours, maybe days. And usually it's done at the end of each quarter to go into a board pack or something similar. And we believe now this is going to be the future of where data goes, because the data's there, the AI can read through it, it can present some really interesting decks and graphs, and then it allows you to manipulate it further if you need to do so. So it can take a few minutes to do, because obviously it's going through so much data, but the output is really impressive. If I just move into a tab here, if I go back, you can also see how it can be appeared in here. So it can also be done directly through Kiki, the assistant. I just put, show me the top 10 learners with the most overdue training, and it can surface that for you as well. So some really interesting ways to kind of prompt the platform, ask questions to the data, and it will surface that for you. So in live demos like this on LinkedIn, it can be a little bit awkward, because obviously it's going to take some time, but it's going to produce the answer pretty quickly for me. And, if you want this data to be fed into another platform, we can do that at Thrive. So, if you wanted it to be fed in something like Power BI or Tableau or Looker, absolutely. Or if you're doing stuff with data warehouses, stuff like Snowflake, again, we have the ability to do that as well and push all this data elsewhere. But I think, data like this combined with just talking to the data gives you some really interesting feedback. That's just going to give me a little bit of time. I did do this just before we started and it took about 2 minutes. So let's just see. Whilst we're doing that, I'll just come back to the platform. Another area of the platform that's really developed in the spring release is translations as well. So as mentioned before, we have 68 different languages, Arabic, right to left, etc. You can now translate absolutely everything. I just put that into Dutch and translated that in real time. So languages for us has been really important. We use a combination of hybrid translation, so it's leveraging both AI and humans. We believe that's the best way, especially with the nuance in different languages and markets. And now that's extended to every single aspect of the platform, whether it's the content creator, video generation, or just platform UI as well, which is important. And let's get back to that data set and see if it's found it. I clicked off the tab. I'll have to follow up with that because it's gone off in real time. We're running out of time. But that, if you're a current Thrive customer, just use that for a prompt, ask questions to the data, and it'll be really interesting to get your feedback on that, because we've seen some huge results in the adoption of that and how it's helping customers, both through here and through the general Kiki interface here, when you can actually use AI Analyze. So some exciting stuff around data. And the last bit, which we wanted to touch on, was just coaching. We touched on coaching, which can take place for a human connection, but also this enables at a content level as well. So for example, you can now touch on coach mode. So you can be coach on specific topics or themes as well. So I could go into the AI system, switch this into coach mode. It will say here, ready to start coaching, which is now personalized coaching conversations. at the content level. Of course, it's starting to take into account things like your skills, your behavior, your role, which is interesting. But now we can be on a specific piece of content and you're interested in learning more about that topic. And what we can now do is generate questions specific for that individual to actually coach them through that learning experience. So here you can see we've got a topic on modern leadership and remote work. And then the AI assistant has worked to generate a series of questions and then testing and doing role play live in the moment. And we believe that, you know, this combined with the mentoring and coaching from a human is probably the way it's going to go. I was speaking to an organization yesterday, and they would never go full AI coaching. Their business and what they do in their industry, they still love that idea and element of human coaching and connection, but they see a place in certain aspects for AI role play such as this. So it's nice that you have the choice of both and that you don't need to go all in on human coaching and mentoring or just all on AI role play and those types of things. So these kind of quick fire questions where people can be nudged with the right question in the moment by AI is definitely beneficial, but it's not for every organization. And then the AI would give you feedback on what you got correct and didn't and how to improve next time. And, you know, the beauty of this is that you can talk to the AI. You don't have to just ask questions to it through text. You can actually talk to the AI and, you know, interact with it in that way as well, which we definitely know is interesting for some use cases for sure. So that's some of the main stuff that we've been working on. Everything from, you know, agents, mentoring, social spaces, AI analytics, the content creator, as well as the translations. There's kind of lots that we're working on. And then of course the hub, which allows us to connect all of the core applications across your workforce as well. Thank you for joining. It's a really exciting time in the industry for us. There's more and more releases coming out over the next few weeks at Thrive. So we're continuously pushing. Now that Learning Tech's over, that's not going to stop. We're going to keep pushing forward. And if you are a customer on the call today, please reach out to your account director to get insights into some of this functionality. Alternatively, go to Thrive Tribe, where there's lots of spaces and insights and information of how to make best use of it. And over the next few weeks, we're at a few events. We're at ATD over in California. So if you're there, definitely check out the Thrive team because we'll be there. And then there's a series of more webinars that we're hosting with customers about how they've got the most out of the platform as well in recent times. So if there's no more questions, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining. And the recording will be available if you want to share it with some colleagues as well. And we will speak to you soon. Thank you so much.